and welcome back to Isaac Reviews 2023, a magical show for kids and grown-ups alike where low-quality movie reviews come to life.
Ever since it came out in 2014, Five Nights at Freddy's has become a smash hit in the world of indie gaming. While most indie games, especially horror-related ones, usually fade into obscurity within a couple months, FNAF seems like it'll be here for the long run. Sure, at first glance, it's just a slow point-and-click game with a lot of cheap jump scares, but as you dig deeper into the complex, overarching story of the franchise, it becomes a lot more interesting than meets the eye. Then again, you probably only know about the lore of the games because of MatPat. At least that's how it is for me. But still, the FNAF franchise has quickly become one of the biggest titles in the world of modern video games, so obviously Hollywood would want to jump on the opportunity to make a feature-length adaptation of them. I mean, 2023 has been a pretty big year for movies and shows based on video games, with one of them becoming one of the highest-grossing films of all time, so I guess now's as good of a time as any to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Although, believe it or not, this movie's actually been in development hell for quite some time until it was eventually picked up by Universal and Blumhouse with directorial newbie Emma Tammy at the helm and given a release date in October both theatrically and on Peacock. I'm a bit surprised Universal decided to take that route, honestly. Like, yeah, this may have been understandable 2 years back in the midst of the pandemic, but more movies have been releasing theatrically nowadays, and we've been seeing more smash hits at the box office ever since No Way Home. At the same time, though, I am kinda glad it did also go to streaming because it was pretty mid. It's the story of Mike Schmidt, the security guard from the original games whose life has been kinda sucky as of late, but fate would soon step in and he'd get a new job as the nighttime security guard at Freddy Fazbear's, an old abandoned pizzeria and arcade akin to Chuck E. Cheese, and this job turns out to be far different from what he signed up for at first. I'll start things off by saying that I gotta give some credit to the crew at Jim Henson's Creature Shop who brought the animatronics to life in this movie, for lack of a better term. They could have taken the easy route and just used CGI on them, but they were really dedicated to bringing these games to live action, and the animatronic work here is absolutely top-notch. Plus, the movie was very well shot, the set design was excellent, and it had a good score courtesy of the Newton brothers. I also love the amount of Easter eggs included in this movie. It's definitely not as Easter egg heavy as the previous video game movie Universal released this year, but it has a lot of clever nods to the franchise's past. And considering how FNAF creator Scott Cawthon was actually a writer for this film, it only makes sense that he'd want to use this as an opportunity to look back at the history of the franchise he created. Also, they played the Living Tombstone song during the credits, and I adore that they included it in addition to all the other little nods to the games. But unfortunately, even if we've been getting more genuinely great video game movies recently, Five Nights at Freddy's is not one of them, and that mainly falls on the writing. I get it, FNAF is a very complex series of games, but this movie tries to do so much with its story in the span of an hour and 45 minutes that it ends up feeling poorly written and confusing, with a lot of stuff happening without much explanation and being quickly forgotten about soon after. That, and whenever the movie goes outside the pizzeria, which happens very frequently, the pacing grinds to a screeching halt. Also, while there aren't very many characters here, most of them aren't all that worthwhile, and their actors give some very unenthusiastic performances, except for Matthew Lillard as William Afton. He did an excellent job here, and he really embodied the complete monster that his character is, even if his screen presence is very limited. But at the end of the day, Five Nights at Freddy's is a movie that just exists. It may have some phenomenal production values, but the bad writing and tedious pacing make for an experience I don't see myself revisiting anytime soon. I'm sure FNAF fans will enjoy it, but otherwise it's nothing you'll need to rush out to see on the big or small screen. 5 out of 10, it could have been worse, I suppose. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode of Isaac Reviews 2023, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!